I mean, it is the new year, so.
It is the new year. It's 2026.
Have you
I
looked
can't
at
even believe it.
Have you looked at your Letterboxd Wrapped?
I have, and
All right, let's hear it.
I got to pull it up at this moment, but I do know off the top of my head. Oh, here it is. My most watched actor is apparently Tom Cruise, and my most watched director is Christopher McQuarrie. Now I have
because you did a Mission Impossible binge.
I do it every year, or I know I definitely did it this year because The Final Reckoning was coming out. So
Right.
I watched like within the span of like 2 months all of them, and only, if memory serves, only 3 are directed by Christopher McQuarrie. He started on Fallout, and then he did Dead Reckoning, and then The Final Reckoning. Yeah, I think that's correct.
You could tell me anything, and I wouldn't know. I've seen them all.
What about you?
Okay, so my most watched actor, Florence Pugh. I'm very proud of that. I went through Thunderbolts. I don't know what happened. I had like a bit of a breakdown. I was like, oh my God, she's so good. And then I just watched a million movies she's in. Some stinkers, though. I will say, Florence, I love you, but you were... What was the one?
What's a stinker? Fighting with My Family.
No, Fighting with My Family's charming enough. Clearly, you haven't gone deep into her filmography like I am. I think this was one of her first movies called Malevolent.
Oh, isn't that on Netflix?
Yes, it is on Netflix.
It's like a horror joint.
Yes, and they're like fake paranormal investigators. It was not good. But she was great in it, but I do think it was one of her first. I'm really just buying time because I don't want to say my most watched director because I hate it.
Why? Who is it?
John M. Chu.
How? What did you watch?
So I worked an event earlier this year, and I watched Crazy Rich Asians. And then
While you were working?
While I was working. I'm a great employee.
Good.
And then I watched Wicked Part 2 at a press screening because I wanted to get the get the review out. And then, but my family had already planned on seeing Wicked Part 2 at Christmas or at Thanksgiving, like after when the family came in. So I had to see Wicked Part 2 again. And then my dad also wanted to pregame for Wicked Part 2 by watching Wicked again.
Okay, so was this all within a month?
Except
roughly?
for Crazy Rich Asians, which was in January. Everything else was in a month, yeah.
So you watched Crazy Rich Asians January 2025, so around this time last year. And then fast forward to November-ish time, you saw Wicked for Good, and then Wicked, and then Wicked for Good.
Yes.
I would be so curious to like actually like take a step back and like look at Letterboxd, like everyone that and like manually like write out like, oh, this was like a Scorsese film I watched a Spielberg movie, Denis Villeneuve, and see how accurate it is, because it's like, and I just, upon looking it up, Christopher McQuarrie started with Mission Impossible in Rogue Nation, so he did Rogue Nation, Fallout, and both Dead Reckonings, or both of the Reckonings. So he did 4 out of, I believe there's 7 or 8 of those 8 movies, I believe. So. But like, I would be curious, is like, I mean, he very well could be like the one director that I've seen the most of his films like in my diary of Letterboxd, but it just feels weird. I've never been happy at my Letterboxd Wrapped because it always just feels like weird. Like
it
it's
always
like,
makes
did
me
I
look
really?
Crazy.
Yeah. But then it's like, how many films did you log? Let's do the numbers real quick.
507.
You logged 507 films? Holy hell. I did 237.
That's still a lot. It's still a crazy number.
What's your hours watched?
781.
478.
What were your first and last watches of the year? I think that's so fascinating.
It was, my first one was a film called Swallowed.
Oh, yeah, with Haley Bennett. Right?
No, that's Swallow. This is Swallowed.
Okay.
Past tense. This has Jenna Malone in it. It's a 2022 independent body horror film.
Isn't that
quick
Swallow?
The synopsis, the quick little elevator pitch is: after a drug run goes bad, two friends must survive a nightmarish ordeal of drugs, bugs, and horrific intimacy. It was fine. I don't remember much about it.
Can you explain the horrific intimacy? What's that?
I really can't. I don't. No, it's so out of my. When was this? Okay, so according to this, this was This was almost a year ago in 3 days. So January 7th is when I watched this.
So what you're
and then
telling me, you got off the cruise that we went on a year ago.
Yes.
And you said, "Let me pull up Swallow."
I don't even remember like how I came up with like. I don't even know, like, was it at a festival or something, and
Was
I
it
like
at your
added to
flight
my
home?
watch list? No, this isn't a movie you watch on a plane. I know that. I mean, just judging by the poster, you can tell like there's some stuff.
Well,
going
yeah, I
on
mean
there.
the horrific intimacy that I'm fascinated by.
Yeah,
That I'll never know about.
I don't. It's considered an LGBTQ movie, so for whatever that's worth, I'm not sure. I don't remember any of it.
Gay rights.
I don't know where it came from. So, but my last film was December 30th, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. So that I was a big fan of that movie growing up. And I just now recently read the book. I know it's like a series of books. There's like 5 or 6 of them. But I'm going through like a weird book kick right now. I've just been reading I'm reading Project Hail Mary right now. But I finished Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and then I was like, time to pop this sucker in. And you know what? I was delighted by it still. It's very fun.
I'm also on a weird book kick. I just read the Sydney Sweeney, Amanda Seyfried movie.
Oh, Housemaid?
Yeah.
Did you read? You read it?
I read it. I haven't seen it yet. I wanted to prep. I wanted to be ready to go.
Sure. You know what? I actually had a good time with that movie.
I think I'm going to, just based off the book, because the book is bonkers.
Dude, the movie's bonkers.
Okay, good. I love Amanda Seyfried so much, so I'm very, very curious to see it. But yeah, it's an interesting way to end your year. I like it.
Let's do your first watch and last watch, and then we can dive into the episode proper.
Let's do it. First watch for me, Baby Girl.
Oh yeah, that was 2020. Yeah, you know what? That's about around the same time. It came out Christmas last year. So if you saw it in January, it's within a month of it. Yeah, it was current.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. I still didn't enjoy. That was my second watch. It still didn't really do much for me. Still love Harris Dickinson though, but but seeing Baby Girl next to my last movie of the year is just so funny to me, because my last one is December 30th, Sound of Falling. And that is just like, oh man, it's so good, but it's one of those movies that you just never want to watch again because it is so brutal.
Is it a long movie too? Oh yeah, it looks long.
I think it was like 2.5, right?
Yeah, that's too long.
Nick, you can't be saying that.
I know. Some movies, dude, like I was supposed to see, and I'm still probably going to try to see it before I go on vacation on Friday. I was supposed to go see The Secret Agent yesterday, but it was 2 hours and 40 minutes. And I was like, I'm going to get out and it's going to be like 6 o'clock and it's already going to be pitch black. And I'm just going to be like so upset. Like this is the time of the year where I don't want to do anything. I just want to stay home because it's just the worst.
I agree. Yeah, I haven't seen Secret Agent yet. I need to.
Yeah. All right. Tina, we're
Nick.
here. Episode 2.
Yes.
We're doing it.
And
you know what?
We made it.
It's a new year, new us. We're going to finally get into the groove of this thing. Still figuring out cadence in terms of like when we're going to release these, how many we're going to do. But until we figure that out, as we start to kind of like fall into the rhythm of the new year with new releases, we're just gonna keep moving. We're gonna keep trucking along. We are still at that sort of stage where 2026 releases are still about to like really kick off. And award season is in full swing. So we're going to be doing a lot of that still over the coming episodes. And then you'll see us start to slowly slip in regular reviews into these episodes. But we're going to start this podcast off like we always do, which is a news story. I did last episode's news story. So Tina, hit us off with a quick news story. What do you want to talk about?
I'm so excited about this one. Okay. Are you familiar with the band Haim?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know that Este Haim, the bassist, got married on New Year's Eve?
No, no.
Okay.
That must have missed my news feed.
I don't know how you missed that. But you know that they're buddies with Paul Thomas Anderson, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So the day after New Year's Day, Paul Thomas Anderson programmed a 16-hour 33mm film festival exclusively for Haim and whoever Haim Este married and anybody who wanted to partake. And I have for you the program. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm all ears.
First of all, I mean, is this what you would want to do the day after your wedding? 9 a.m.?
If it's programmed by Paul Thomas Anderson and he was like in attendance, sort of like queuing up the films and giving a quick blurb, I would absolutely do this.
I also have a list of people who did stick around for it. Not everybody did.
Oh, okay, great. Let's do it.
All right, 9 a.m., Repo Man. Crazy.
Still haven't seen it. It's a Criterion release that I want to pick up at some point, but.
And then after Repo Man, Casablanca.
That is a movie blind spot for me. I still haven't seen Casablanca.
Nick.
I
my
know.
good. Okay, but still, crazy thing to show at like 11 a.m. on New Year's
Yeah,
Day.
right after Repo Man.
Quick break for lunch, and then 1:30 we
How
come
long's
back.
the lunch?
I don't have that information. They didn't give me that.
Oh, okay.
1:30 we come back with Barry Lyndon.
Still haven't seen that either, but that's a huge movie, dude. Isn't that like 3 hours?
You should have gone to this. You should have been invited so that you could finally see all of these
This would have been
movies.
so enriching for me, man.
5 o'clock, Casino.
I haven't seen
Nick.
it. That's a Scorsese. So what I'm figuring out right now, Tina, is I'm going to find this list or create it on Letterboxd and start to prepare myself for this.
The Este Haim New Year's Day post-wedding screening.
Yes.
8:30, we've got The Birdcage.
Robin Williams,
I believe so, yes.
Nathan Lane. I still
Yeah.
haven't seen it. They play a couple in it, I believe. Sorry.
All right, finally, the end of the evening, Father of the Bride.
Haven't seen it.
Well, I don't know if you and Paul Thomas Anderson would get along at this point.
Weirdly top heavy at the beginning.
Yeah.
Like I feel like you want to start with like The Birdcage or The Father of the
Right.
Bride before you punch into Repo Man and Casablanca.
Absolutely
and
bonkers
Barry Lyndon.
to do a 9 a.m. Repo Man. The people who Taylor Swift was invited did not stay.
Did she stay? She stayed. No, did she not stay for any of it?
No, she left. She went to the wedding.
So she left-
and then left.
Okay, hang on. So was this part? This was the day after, right?
Yes.
Day after the wedding?
Yeah,
Okay.
they got married New Year's Eve, and then New Year's Day they did this screening.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But here's who did stay. Paul Thomas Anderson, Maya Rudolph. I'm assuming
course.
they don't say Esty and her new married
Husband.
partner, but I would assume they were there.
Yeah.
Donald Glover,
Oh.
Kesha.
Wait, are we to believe they stayed for the entirety of this thing?
I guess so.
Or they just were in attendance, maybe they dipped out after lunch, but like
They said some of
Whatever.
the according to Vulture is my source.
okay.
Some of the folks that did reportedly take in all of the movies are these people that I'm listing to you. So,
All right.
Kesha, we got Ludwig Göransson, the composer.
Yeah.
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 And then the other two Haim sisters. So Danielle and
Alana.
Alana. Thank you. There you go.
Yeah,
There's
that's
your news.
I'll tell you what, the people that did stay, that doesn't, well, Kesha kind of is a curveball for me, but
I want to know what's going on there. But I think I don't know. I didn't realize that she was close with them. I also don't really keep up with pop culture like this. But
neither do I.
I was just Googling movie news this morning and everything was kind of boring. And then this finally came across my radar and I said, oh, this is what I need.
Yeah. I like this kind of news story because it allows a lot of banter and fun to be had. That was a great story. I'm realizing how much I'm like lacking on like very sort of like quintessential movies.
You got to see Casablanca.
I know. The franchise Casablanca that's going to be on Netflix eventually.
Stop. That's going to be AI. They're going to put Kermie and Miss Piggy in instead.
Honestly,
I'd
I'm fine
watch
with
it.
that.
Yeah, same.
I would watch that. There needs to be more Muppets like parodying like movies.
I think that's the answer to like this fatigue that we all have around remaking movies. I wouldn't be complaining for a second if you're remaking them but slapping the Muppets in there.
Yeah.
Done.
I would approve of that. Do we want to dive into our main topic of the show?
Let's do it. 2026.
So today, 2026 is here. As of by the time listeners are listening to this episode, I will have officially seen my first 2026 release. I'm seeing it tomorrow. It is part of. Well, I'll use this to kind of jump into like my first sort of like picks. I have like right now like 75 movies on my. So what ends up happening, Tina? Let's just be real. Is I've stopped doing like top 10 lists and things like that. Like my favorites of 2025, which I think we'll do probably on the next or the following episode, because there's like a few more movies I want to try to catch before I solidify my favorites of 2025. But I've stopped creating like a list of 10. And every time I watch a movie, I started this last year. Every time I watch a movie and I like really enjoy it to some extent, it goes on my 2025 favorites. So it's like, if I like the movie, it doesn't have to be like the best of the best, but if I like had a good time watching it at home or watching it at the theaters, I put it on that list. And then with anticipated, I put everything that I want to see, not necessarily like the top 10 like must sees, but like everything that is supposed to release in 2026 that catches my fancy. I put it on this list. That way I can keep track. And as we go through the year, I can start to like mark things off like, oh, this got pushed, or like this is now a festival movie. And like it helps me sort of organize like what's on my plate for the year. And so looking at this now, it appears to be, as of right now, there's about 75 movies that are supposed to come out in 2026 that is on my radar that I want to see. The first one I'll bring up, like I said, I'm going to be seeing it this week, tomorrow. It's part of AMC's Scream Unseen. It's not confirmed, but everybody's pretty much assuming that it is, and I tend to agree, is Primate. That'll be my first 2026 release, so I'll just jump in there and say, very excited for this movie. It played at Fantastic Fest. It got a lot of really, really great reviews. General synopsis is Cujo, but it's a chimpanzee instead of a dog.
Do you think that they watched Nope and said, what if the whole thing was about the monkey?
That too. I don't know if the director, I believe his name is Johannes Roberts. He did like 47 Meters Below and a couple other horror films like that. I think I'm right. I don't want to.
You're right.
Yep,
he did Resident Evil 2, The Strangers.
Yeah, he at Fantastic Fest he introed the movie and he says, "I hope that this can absolve my sins of creating Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City." He says, "I hope this is an apology for that movie," because he wasn't proud of it, and it was
Raccoon City.
It was apparently not good to people that saw it. I think I saw it, and I didn't care for it.
I didn't see it, but I did start playing Resident Evil over the weekend. So
which one?
The one you recommended,
Biohazard.
Yeah.
That's the first one I played. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, you're totally right. It's like the Gordy's home sequences from Nope, which are especially harrowing. And it's like, what if we dragged that out for an hour and a half and had people stuck in this house and this chimpanzee's got rabies and it goes crazy. I'm just also interested in it because of the practical effects. They had an actual person in a suit.
Oh, for the chimp?
Yep.
Interesting. Okay.
Very, very, very minor CG work. Like a lot of the praise around the movie and like the director talking about it is like, we wanted this to be as like practical and as visceral and as real as possible.
Interesting.
Here it's really gory, a lot of great effects. And I also love a good movie that's an hour and 30 minutes, just sharp. Just get in and get out. Don't waste any time. So
I think it's interesting though that January used to be the month that you would dump your horror movies that you were like studios didn't want to like put a lot of money into. But now with Primate and like the success that it came out of the festival run, and with Bone Temple, it's like January is changing, and I find that very interesting. I feel like there's something else. Oh, Send Help.
Help. Yep.
Yeah, because that's Sam Raimi produced or directed. So
And
it's very strange.
Jury's out on me in terms of Send Help, like whether or not it's going to be good, but I will absolutely show up for a new Sam Raimi film.
I was gonna say, Rachel McAdams is there. It's good.
Let's go to yours. We're not going to be able to hit all these, so like maybe we do 5 or so each. Okay. I'm not counting Primate as mine, by the way. That's just because it's so soon. I'm just gonna sort of put that out there as like an additive.
Okay, I'm not good. I don't have the same sort of method that you have. I got nothing. I just kind of, when I get emails. You
don't make a list?
No, I do not make a list.
Why?
I don't know.
That's the beauty of Letterboxd, is making lists.
I know. I don't really make a lot of lists, but my watch list is like the only list that I keep. And so I went and I sorted my watch list by 2026 releases. There's only 9 listed. So clearly I'm not even good at putting stuff on the watch list.
Goodness gracious.
But I mean, first and foremost, I got to pick The Bride. I'm stoked about The Bride. I loved Lost Daughter. I think that Maggie Gyllenhaal's such an interesting director, and I think it's a very fascinating collection of like it's unrelated to like the actual plot of the movie, but orange seems to play like it's such a color that seems to keep popping up in Maggie Gyllenhaal's work, and I'm very interested by that. But I love Jessie Buckley. I love Jessie Buckley so much, and I want to see her just go absolutely nuts, and I'm very excited about The Bride. I'm just stoked about it. Like, this is not even like a critical, interesting take on anything. I'm just stoked for this movie.
I agree. It's oozing with style. I love the poster. Like, I'm looking at it right now on Letterboxd. I don't know if this is like the official poster or if this is one that I just adjusted on. No, it seems to be the official one, like with the orange text and like her black and white silhouette. Yeah. You could put that on a wall, frame it. It's perfect. It looks really good. It'll go right there. This movie looks gorgeous in IMAX, like the IMAX trailer they play. It's loud, it's big, it's got style for days. I don't know what it just seems like it's a
Is it a
Bonnie
musical?
And Clyde.
Am I making this up?
I haven't heard that it was a musical, but I would not be shocked if it's a musical.
Because I feel like the way that it's cut and the way that like it kind of looks in the trailer, it looks like there are moments of them like dancing or moving in like a way that makes me think that it's a musical. And with the way that Hollywood loves to conceal that a movie's a musical until they get the people in the theater, it wouldn't surprise me. And it also wouldn't surprise me because Jessie Buckley's crazy good singer. I don't know if Christian Bale can sing. Can Christian Bale sing?
It's a musical.
It is?
Yep. It says The Bride is confirmed to be a musical featuring big dance numbers and singing, despite early speculation and some marketing efforts downplaying it, blending horror, romance, and musical elements for a punk take on Bride of Frankenstein.
Is 2026 my year?
Just for this movie, or is there something else?
No, because I love a musical. Like, I really do. So I love Jessie Buckley singing. Like, I own the Wild Rose vinyl. Like, I'm out here. So this is just something that I'm stoked about. And I Googled, can Christian Bale sing? Fully forgetting that he's in Newsies. But then one of the other videos that popped up that I will absolutely be watching after this is Christian Bale sings the Powerpuff Girls theme. Curious to see what that's about.
What era of Christian Bale is this?
It says 15 years ago. So 2010, we were all different then.
So this was like probably early Batman.
And why is he singing it for early Batman press? I'll find out when we're done.
Thank you. we'll go to my next one. God, there's so many. I will go ahead and pick. I'm gonna probably stick in genre because it's like, horror and stuff is kind of my favorite area of film. I'm gonna go with Evil Dead Burn. I'm a huge fan of the Evil Dead series. I like pretty much every permeation of them. They all have their strengths. I don't think any of them are particularly weak. I think that there's just like different interpretations and different styles of it, but it all stays in its sort of like formulaic nature with the Book of the Dead, with the Necronomicon and stuff. I really loved Fede Alvarez's 2013 reboot of it. I think that was the thing that like really got me into it, and then went back and watched all the Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell classics, even the show to a certain degree. I was a little lukewarm initially on Evil Dead Rise from Lee Cronin. I loved the idea of sort of like the Necronomicon and like the demons getting loose from like a vinyl. I thought that was a really fun little trick there. I've watched it again recently and kind of softened to it as well. And so now looking ahead with Evil Dead Burn, I'm going to butcher his name, but it's Sebastian Vinnick. This is coming from the guy that directed a movie that I believe was last year or 2 years ago that I really enjoyed, which was called Infested, which is basically just a big spider movie. People stuck in an apartment building and spiders are multiplying and getting larger, and it's very gross. I hate spiders. Don't like being around them. They make me squeamish, and I think that he did a great job of deploying expert tension and gross out, sort of like leaping out of your seat horror with that movie. And so seeing that he's going to get a stab at the Evil Dead franchise, I think is really exciting. No idea where it's at in development. I believe the past two Evil Dead films, Evil Dead Rise and Fede Alvarez's Evil Dead, both premiered at South by Southwest. Oh. So there is a chance that this movie does get its first light at South by Southwest. So we'll stay tuned to that. But just wanted to also just shout out that basically Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell, the Evil Dead franchise, they're looking for emerging talents like Sebastian to put their own spin on the Evil Dead franchise. There's going to be another Evil Dead movie from the director of, oh goodness gracious, what is that movie? I am sorry for not having this on the top of my head. That's the wrong Jim Cummings. I need the other Jim Cummings. Here he is. Francis Galuppi. I don't know how to pronounce that name. I apologize. But he directed a movie in 2023 called The Last Stop in Yuma County.
Oh, yeah.
Which was another great movie. It's kind of feels like a indie version of like almost like a Tarantino style movie. It all takes place in like this like off the highway sort of diner gas station thing, and it's all these different characters, and there's a heist going on and different motives, and it's very, very fun. It's a very tense and funny movie, and Bruce Campbell and Sam Raimi have tapped this guy to create another Evil Dead film in the universe. So I just like what they're doing, getting smaller directors to inject their spin and bring them into this franchise and do things differently. And it feels like a universe and a franchise that's very malleable, and you can kind of do whatever you want, and there's no real rule breaking. You can kind of establish your rules and kind of have fun with it. So Evil Dead Rise, big on my list. Very excited.
I think that's like the preferred way that these franchises should continue on, as opposed to just trying to recreate. I mean, you think about Scream, where Scream is just essentially been the same stylistically since West did it, and I don't feel like any of the new directors are getting a chance to like mold it how they want. But I haven't seen any of the Evil Dead. I don't know why. I just haven't. I want to watch the Fetty one because I loved Romulus, but I think that this is like the preferred way of making them interesting again, and like still using that name brand to get people in the theater, but then to like also, like you said, elevate new talent. I think that's great. So
Yeah, and there's obviously consistency across all films and things that like
yeah,
are staples of like what makes an Evil Dead movie an Evil Dead movie.
yeah,
But there is a lot of leeway in terms of like an artist's interpretation of it. And I think as well, especially with a franchise that is it had its moment, and it continues to have its moment in different permeations of different directors putting their own spin on it and their own flavor. I think that other franchises could benefit from that. The two that come to mind are squarely back in the house of Blumhouse, but with conversations around Saw coming back and conversations around a new Paranormal Activity movie coming, as well as now Blair Witch. So all three of those IPs fall under the Blumhouse Atomic Monster brand with Jason Blum and James Wan. And so I think I remember as soon as like a couple months ago, they said that they found a new director to reimagine Paranormal Activity. I would just want them to do something like what's going on with Evil Dead, which is like, here are the ingredients of what makes a Paranormal Activity movie a Paranormal Activity. Beyond that, have a good time. Don't feel like you have to connect it to the movies previous. Have a good time with it. Try something new. And I would want the same with Saw. Like, I wouldn't want them to go back like, where's Tobin Bell and Jigsaw? It's like, no. Here's kind of the core mechanics of what makes a Saw movie. Go forth and innovate.
yeah. I think that's the answer to the way that studios can still feel safe about like putting stuff out, but then also people want new stuff. That's just like the end of the day. Like people give me Saw, but like a rom-com, you know?
Sure.
Which they
honestly,
already did. People say that the first Saw is like a rom-com.
Oh,
that they're in love.
honestly, yeah. And I've seen there's like an unofficial Saw musical, and I think they make them both gay in that. I think so.
Incredible.
I've seen it on TikTok and stuff, but you're totally right in that. And that's it. Yeah. How interesting would it be to like have that original Saw movie, but have it from the perspective of like it's a married couple or a couple that's like on the fringes of divorce, and like the emotional stakes there, I think could provide something very interesting. And you're right that it is, the studios can play it safe with marketing and using the brand ID and all that other stuff, but like you do kind of pull the rug out from the audience once they get in there and show them something new. You mentioned Romulus, and there's a big sticking point for I think some people about the ending, like the last like 15 minutes of it, how it kind of goes gonzo with like weird practical effects and creatures and stuff. I loved that. I liked that escalation. That's something that I haven't seen in the Alien franchise, and that's part of why I like it so much, was that like it didn't feel safe. It didn't feel like Alien Covenant. It didn't feel like Aliens, James Cameron. Like it felt like Fede Alvarez was like, oh, now we're going to do some sicko shit. And they go there. And I think we need more of that in these types of franchise IPs.
I fully agree. Yeah. Let somebody wild take over Scream and see what happens.
Yeah. I don't know about you, but like Scream 7 is like super not on my radar for this year. I don't care. I may catch it if it ends up on like HBO Max or something like that, but like I'm not going to the theater to see it. Like I've decided amidst all the Melissa Barrera stuff and Jenna Ortega leaving, and it just, I don't know how many more times I can see the same movie again. So I will politely bow out from that.
So kind of
What about you?
Let me see. Let me check my other 9 movies that are on my little list.
Well, it's easy for you. It's hard for me. I was like scrolling through all these. I was like, dude, which one do I talk about, man?
I mean, here, like, even if I'm looking at these 9, I'm like, I don't know what any of them are.
Okay. Okay.
This is not good for me. So I'm gonna pick Forbidden Fruits.
I've never heard of it. Oh, yeah, I know this one.
Listen, I gotta support the gays. Lily Reinhart, Lola Tung, Victoria Pedretti, Gabrielle Union. I don't feel like I need to sell it any more than that. It's based on a play called "Of the Women Came the Beginning of Sin, and Through Her We All Die." Sounds like a banger to me. Honestly, I don't really know much about it except that it seems kind of witchy and queer and cultish, and something about like mall culture in like the 90s, early 2000s, which right up my alley. I loved the early mall culture of those years of my youth. But I just think that I love that Lily Reinhart has kind of gone rogue since Riverdale. And is just doing stuff that she finds interesting. And I think that it's cool that she's doing this movie, and then also that movie that is based off of a fan fiction about Kylo Ren. So, the duality of women,
Who's putting this movie out? Do you know?
I don't know. The director is Meredith Alloway. She did a short or maybe it was a feature. It was a short for Huluween like a couple years ago.
Oh, yeah.
But I think this is her first feature.
Interesting.
And I don't know who's got it.
This is going to be one that I feel like you're going to have to like see it and tell me. Like, I don't know if I'm going to be first in line or tracking it as intently as you might. So
again, not an ally.
I like what's her name? Alexandra Shipp. She's great.
Lily Reinhart's great. I mean, Victoria Pedretti, love her. Gabrielle Union. It's a fascinating cast. Gabrielle Union is a very interesting addition to this cast because like I feel like the other people, Victoria Pedretti's done like a lot of smaller stuff and done a lot of short films with up and coming female directors, so that makes sense to me. And then same with Lily Reinhart, same with Lola, same with Alexandra, of like wanting to do like still kind of in the early days of their career where they're not like booking stuff solely based on name. But Gabrielle Union is still like Gabrielle Union. So I think it's such an interesting decision on her part to be part of this movie.
My next one is, this one's pretty quick because there's not a lot to talk about with this one. Flowervale Street. This is the new David Robert Mitchell joint.
Yes.
Starring Anne Hathaway and Ewan McGregor. The plot is, I mean, it's kind of, I don't know if this is considered a spoiler because it says it's rumored to be about blank. So like, who's to say if that's even real? But according to Letterboxd, it says a family in the 80s starts to notice bizarre happenings in their neighborhood. And then it says rumored to be a time traveling film with dinosaurs.
I mean, they also just slap a bunch of dinosaur bones as the poster on Letterboxd, so I don't know if they're hiding anything.
Right. But I don't know how much of that is like, fan posters, people that create things based on like the blurb, and then they're like, oh, let me just put it up there because,
That's true.
anyone can put up posters on these things. So I really like David Robert Mitchell. I liked It Follows a lot when it came out. I haven't revisited it in quite some time, and I'd be curious to see how much it holds up. I know they announced a sequel to It Follows. They Follow. Which it should have been called Follows It, if you know what I mean.
Why?
You just flip it. It follows it. You follow it.
Yeah, but that doesn't make sense.
I just think it's cool.
Okay.
I don't know. They can make it make sense. I'm also not ready to go to bat for it. So like, I haven't really thought it through. I just think like,
I don't know.
phonetically speaking, if you put those two movies back to back, like It follows it. I'm not going to convince you of this, so that's fine. So Neon is supposed to be attached to this as well. But Under the Silver Lake was his film after It Follows. I was lukewarm on it when I first saw it. I rewatched it about 2 years ago or whatever, and I love it. I think it's fantastic.
I loved it so much. And it's very, I feel like, antithetical to me. I would say.
I'm actually shocked that you like it.
I went in because I wanted to see Riley Keough.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I'm going to hate this. But I don't know. I just feel like it captured like the way that LA can kind of break your brain for a little bit from when I lived there. And I lived like close to that area. I could not afford Silver Lake, but I would spend a lot of time in Silver Lake. And so I knew a lot of the locations that they shot in. And so it just felt, it was weird, but it was a weird that had a purpose. And I think that's what I need in these sort of movies. Whereas like David Lynch, I don't always connect with David Lynch because it just feels weird with no guiding purpose throughout it. And so Under the Silver Lake, I feel like had it. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. I think that's a normal like response to those types of things. Like I couldn't recommend certain Lynch material in good faith to some people just because it's like, I know that it's just like the barrier to entry there is a bit difficult. Some of the stuff I admire of his in terms of the abstract nature of it and just allowing yourself to be comfortable with ambiguity. But I think it does sometimes, depending on some of his films, whichever one, some of it is a little bit like, please, I just need like something that makes sense to like guide me through this. I think some of his films like Mulholland Drive and others like do that a little bit better, of having like a through line that you can sort of like anchor yourself to kind of get through a little bit of the chaos and noise. But I think Under the Silver Lake is like one of the first more modern representations of like what a Lynch style mystery could be.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel like he's trying to mimic and sort of like copy. It seems like he's very, it's fully him, but it's also reverential to a lot of like Lynch isms.
Yeah.
So
I do
big
think
fan of
that Chaperone needs to really apologize to a lot of non-movie knowing lesbians for making them want to watch Mulholland Drive, because our friend Gina loves Chaperone. And so she was like, what's this Mulholland Drive movie? And I said, I'll bring a DVD, but you guys are going to hate it.
What song does she mention it in? Is it a...
Something about that one sex scene in Mulholland Drive. I forget the song. But she's name drops it. And I'm like, which one? They're all bad. All the sex scenes are bad.
A call-in method where we could just get Gina on the horn.
Get Gina on the line. Hey, Gina, which one is it?
What's your next one?
All right, let's see. Let's see what we've got for me. What can I pull out of here? I'm now looking just at like the massive list of 2026 releases because I'm so out of my depth. Oh, okay, wait. Let me put on my little superhero loving cap for just a moment.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go. I love Supergirl. I'm very excited. I don't know. I'm cautiously optimistic. Let me walk that back immediately. I like that the Supergirl that they're doing, Milia Alcock is Supergirl. Craig Gillespie is directing. He did I, Tonya, which I enjoyed, and Cruella, which I liked stylistically, but plot-wise felt like a crazy thing. He also did Lars and the Real Girl, which I really also enjoyed. I didn't see Dumb Money, but I don't know. I feel like he has a decent track record of helming movies about women, so I feel good-ish about that. I feel also good that they're letting Kara be the crazy party girl who's just angry all the time that she is, because I think Superman's story is sad in the sense that he left a planet and he doesn't know anything about it, but I think it's also like a different deep sadness to have spent like your adolescent years there, to know the place intimately, and then to watch it all burn in front of you, and then to lose every piece of contact that you have with that home. And I think that it seems like they're going to go sort of on that path and like actually let her reflect on that, which I think is a very interesting aspect of Supergirl that is not really represented in like other mainstream superhero movies that we see. Like, you don't really have a lot of people or a lot of superheroes who are like grieving for a planet that's gone. I mean, they kind of say it. They're like, oh man, my planet's gone. What are you going to do? Yeah. But I think it's such a central key part of Supergirl's character that I'm very cautiously excited about what they are going to do with it, and like have her be a reluctant hero, a flip side of the coin to her golden boy cousin. So I liked her little bits in Superman. So I don't know. I'm curious.
Yeah, I probably share a lot of that excitement and skepticism, or cautious optimism, I suppose. I think for me, the thing that I'm most concerned about and curious about is like, this is now going to be our first in this new DC regime with Peter Safran and James Gunn. This is going to be the first one that isn't like directly handled by James Gunn. He's obviously serving as producer, but he didn't write the script. He's not directing it or whatever. And based on the trailer, it still feels a little bit like James Gunnisms in terms of like her dialogue, the music set to the trailer and all this stuff. And I'm not too thrilled about the idea of Kara like lugging around this like young girl and having to like watch after her or whatever. And like that feels a little like been there, done that.
Yeah.
I think more than anything, I'm just curious like how this can stand on its own against, like, what is it like to get a different director and a different writer and creative team into the DC universe and it feel congruent with the rest of the universe set out by James Gunn with Superman and like Peacemaker, I guess, and all that other shit.
Yeah.
How can it feel like it's still in that universe, but also still be its own thing and have its own style? And I think if they can do that, it'll give me a lot of faith that the subsequent films that come out aren't going to just feel like James Gunn light. I need this. And I think another example of that, I'm not going to call it as my own in terms of like my next film on my list. But since we're just talking about DC, another DC movie's coming out this year as well. And it's Clayface. Mm-hmm. And so like, how is that movie going to feel in terms of difference between Supergirl and Superman? I believe there's already been a lot of discussions where they say it's going to be R, and it's written by Mike Flanagan. Yeah. So it's like, it's going to be a horror movie. It's going to be a body horror movie, but it's also part of this whole thing, you know? So I think Supergirl and Clayface are going to be the two that need to kind of show that this DC universe has legs beyond the things that James Gunn's already set up.
And it's interesting too, the woman who is writing Supergirl, who I guess wrote Supergirl, Ana Noguera,
okay,
if I pronounced that correctly. She's also on the books for another Wonder Woman and Teen Titans. So very interesting to me. And I think that Mike Flanagan, I love Mike Flanagan, but I think that he is stylistically so opposite of James Gunn that he feels like it'll probably feel closer to Robert Pattinson's Batman than Supergirl, which I'm okay with. I'm okay with there being like various degrees of superhero grittiness within the DC universe, but I don't know. I think Supergirl deserves to have a little fun. I think we deserve to have a good old-fashioned fun superhero movie that also like I'm hoping that it will balance the fun and levity that Kara's character has with like the true sadness of what her role is in terms of like being second place essentially to her younger cousin.
Yeah. I think it'll be interesting to see how much there is of Superman in this movie to whatever degree there is.
I hope none. And I'm going to be honest. I hope absolutely zero.
Yeah.
I love Superman. Like the Superman and Supergirl are like the only superheroes that you will hear me like being passionate about. But I don't want that. I want this to be her movie by herself. And I already feel like it's probably not, because we're going to have this younger character who, again, I feel the same way of like, we've had so many movies of a superhero having to care for like a younger person and like shepherd them through whatever revenge they have to get shepherded through. But I want it to be Supergirl's voice. If he comes in for like a little tag at the end, fine with that. But I want the whole film. I don't want to see that man's face. Respectfully.
All right. We should do two more real quickly before we close out. I think so I've said Primate slightly, even though I'm already going to be seeing it. And then I said Evil Dead Rise, and then Flowervale Street. Or is it Flowervale Station? Flowervale Street. That's said
Fruitvale Station.
Fruitvale Station, yeah. Different movie.
The
you
Bride.
said Bride, Supergirl, and the Forbidden Fruits.
Yes.
Okay. So we'll each do two more real quick to round this out. I'm going to do one real quick. I don't know too much about this movie because I'm kind of staying in the dark on this one, but it is coming out in February. It is called Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die. Directed by Gore Verbinski. This premiered at Fantastic Fest as well. The basic Gist of the movie is a man from the future arrives in a diner in Los Angeles where he must recruit the precise combination of disgruntled patrons to join him on a one-night, 6-block quest to save the world from the terminal threat of a rogue AI. This stars Sam Rockwell. It also has Haley Lou Richardson, Zazie Beetz, Michael Pena, and Juno Temple. Great cast as far as I'm concerned. Love Haley Lou Richardson. Love Sam Rockwell. It got great reviews. Like I said, coming out of Fantastic Fest. I don't know much more beyond that. There's a trailer out. I haven't seen the trailer. I hear it's pretty funny. It's bonkers. It's intense. I heard there was like some stuff like that it like touches on about like school shootings and stuff. I don't know what about that, but it looks great to me. And any movie that is about screw AI's bad, I'm going to support that 100%. Especially, I mean, I have a lot of complex feelings about AI, and you do as well, I'm sure. I especially have an issue with it when it comes to endeavors of creativity, when it comes to music, TV, film, writing, things like that. Robots and AI does not have the ability to convey the human condition and the human experience. Only humans can, and those are the best movies. So I'm very excited to see a movie that is so boldly going to step out and talk about AI in a very consequential sense. So yeah, I'm very, very excited for this movie.
Yeah, I'm excited too. I'm supposed to be interviewing the composer soon, so I'm very excited. Yeah. I'm like you, I don't know anything about it, but I'm just intrigued by it. It seems like a good, and I love Haley Lou Richardson. I'm very excited for Ponies on Peacock.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it looks very fun. So I'm with you on that one.
So Tina, do you have one or two more? Which one do you have?
Yeah, I'm gonna cheat a little bit and pick one that I've already seen, but that I'm very excited for it to get a bigger audience, and that is Obsession, directed by Curry Barker. It premiered at TIFF, and I saw it on my laptop as a screener, and I was blown away. I loved it so much. It's about a boy who's got a hopeless crush on his coworker, and he gets gifted this little like trinket looking thing where it's like looks obviously like it's not going to do what it says it does, but it promises the person who uses it one wish. And so he wishes that the girl he likes will like him back. And if you look at the movie poster of a sad boy covered in blood, you will see that things don't go the way that they hope. And I highly encourage you to watch the little teaser. It doesn't give away any more than what I gave you now, but it really sets the scene. And the editing of it is so good. And the score and sound design is phenomenal. And I'm so excited to see it on the big screen.
This is on my list too. I had a feeling you might mention it, and so I was just gonna save that for you to discuss. But like, this is super, super high on my list. You're right. It premiered at TIFF. It also played at Fantastic Fest, and a lot of that excitement is still, it's rolling, you know? And I think it came out of Fantastic Fest, acquired, or was it acquired in TIFF?
I think Fantastic Fest.
Okay.
I think Fantastic was a little later. I think TIFF, it honestly, I didn't hear many people talking about it, sadly. Because when I started mentioning it, nobody had really heard of it. And so I think it's after Fantastic.
Yeah. And I think it's Focus Features, if I'm not mistaken.
I want to say you're right. Or Neon.
It's Focus Features, and Blumhouse is tied to it as well, to some extent.
Yes. I hope they don't touch it.
Yes, right.
I hope nobody touches it.
Based on your reaction to it and the reactions that I've listened and read from others, and just knowing what I know about Curry Barker from watching his film Milk and Cereal on YouTube, which super recommend people watch it just to kind of like get into the mind of Curry Barker. It's super, super low budget. It's incredibly inspiring, like to watch something like that and you know, the lighting, the audio, the camera work, it's very, very like juvenile, but the writing and the characters and the story is super engrossing and messed up and engaging, that it gives you what I would imagine is like a taste of his sort of like dark creativity, which will be obviously magnified more in his full feature theatrical debut. And it strikes me as the type of movie that I'm begging Blumhouse to get more into. I'm not a huge fan of a lot of what Blumhouse has been doing lately with the Megan 2.0s, with the Speak No Evil reboot and Halloween 6, 7, and 8 and all this weird crap. Like, give me something like this. Give me something like Dangerous Animals. We had this discussion. I don't know if we did it on a pod that we never released or if it was something that we discussed like together in person. But like, I think Shudder, not to get into a whole thing, but like I think Shudder in terms of its creativity and the type of movies that it acquires and or like finances and produces are much more diverse in terms of like the type of stories and the type of creativity that they bring that Blumhouse is like not catering to. So all that to say, I'm hoping Obsession kind of blows the doors off and it gets Blumhouse back into a place of like maybe like acquiring more like indie filmmakers that are just starting out and have like a unique voice and story to say. The teaser's great, like you said. I think I'm very apprehensive about watching teasers and trailers in general, especially for movies that like have a great hook and have a lot of enthusiasm behind it. So I was very hesitant to watch this one, but I'm glad I did because it does exactly what you said. It sells the premise. It sells the music and the tone and the editing and just like the vibes of seeing that trailer in theaters. I can only imagine what it's going to be like when it comes out in May. Very, very excited for this one.
Yeah. I hope that's the only trailer that they put out. I know that it probably won't be, but I think that trailer tells you everything that you need to know about the movie.
Yeah. I think they're going to, unfortunately, it's going to be one of those things where they're going to probably show a lot. So it'll be very interesting. I'll actually probably use you as like a sort of like a test person in the sense that when the new official trailer comes out, you should watch it and then just give a broad strokes like, hey, don't watch it. This, that, or the other.
That's
like,
what we did with the teaser.
I'll do two more real quickly, rapid fire. I'm going to kind of hit these both at the same time, so to speak. Social Reckoning.
Yeah.
And, oh boy, I'm going to just do another one that's horror too, because I'm super not creative in terms of moving over to something that's not genre related. But October, this is a Jeremy Saulnier film, October. It is A24. It stars Corey Michael Smith, Chase Sue Wonders, Sophie Wilde. And it is a fugitive thriller set during Halloween. Written and directed by Jeremy Saulnier, who did Blue Ruin, Green Room, Rebel Ridge. I'm excited for this. I'm excited for a number of reasons. I'm born in the month of October. Halloween's my favorite holiday. Movies set during Halloween are the best movies ever. And I'm excited to see Jeremy Saulnier move off of Netflix because his previous films have been Netflix ties. I think that there was Rebel Ridge, and then he did Hold the Dark with Jeffrey Wright, which was also a Netflix joint. So I'm excited for him to get back into a theatrical headspace. And I don't know anything more about this movie, and I'm very excited for it.
Yeah. And Social Reckoning, I mean, who knows what it'll be, but Social Network, I think we both agree that it's like one of the greatest movies ever made. Just truly.
Bar none.
So, yeah, I'm very curious to see what he does without Fincher, what Sorkin does without Fincher, but I do think that was a main component of what makes Social Network such a fantastic film, but I'm going to show up for it, absolutely. And October, I'm also curious about too. It was not on my list. Let me add it to my watch list.
Add it. You know what? You have the link to my whole list if you want to take a look at any of the 75 on here.
Yeah, that's what I've also been using to help me. Because I don't have anything. All right, one more for me. What do we got?
I just want to say real quickly about Social Network, just to plug that as well. It's my number one movie. Like anytime somebody comes up and says, what's your favorite movie? You're a movie guy. I always say The Social Network. It is, I live, breathe it. I can like quote it. I saw it at a very formative time growing up.
Yeah.
My good friend at the time, we saw it in theaters together, and like we immediately went after seeing it and went home and reviewed it together. Like that's kind of was the start of me like doing movie reviews and like getting into film in that way. So it holds a special place in my heart, but like you're absolutely right. Like it's David Fincher, it's Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross on the score. It's Jesse Eisenberg and Andrew Garfield and like all these characters and actors coming together that made something incredibly, incredibly special and still relevant to this day, instantly rewatchable. And so, I mean, people have been talking about a sequel to The Social Network for quite some time because there's, you know, Facebook and Mark Zuckerberg and just politics and everything that's been going on in the world.
Yeah.
Like it's ripe for a story. It's ripe to kind of like what The Social Network did at its time and how it was so prophetic about the future. I think it's equally as important and beneficial to like re-examine Facebook in this new world that we're in. I just have reservations on Sorkin as a director, directing his own material. I think with somebody like Fincher to do a checks and balances on that, I think is very beneficial. And then the score. Will Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross come back for this? I don't know.
Yeah.
If they do, I'm going to feel a lot better. If they don't, it's just going to feel like I'm worried that this is just going to end up feeling like a Tubi or
This is your Bruce Springsteen Deliver Me From Nowhere.
It might be like it's gonna just be a poor man's version of what it could have been, you know. And I don't even care about like the recasting of Jeremy Strong as Mark Zuckerberg.
See,
I actually think
that's
I don't mind it. Because I think he's great, and I think he's gonna lose himself in this role.
I think he's great. Like that isn't my issue. I think he's great. And then nobody's playing Andrew Garfield's character, right?
No, it's a whole different.
Yeah, I just think that it's sad. I think Jesse Eisenberg did such a phenomenal job with that I don't, and he's obviously aged the way, like in the years since. So there's, unless Jesse Eisenberg is so busy with, I don't know, Now You See It 4.
A real pain too.
Two good options. I don't see why he wouldn't come back, you know? And so that makes me a little hesitant.
I'm going to be very curious as like the first teasers come out and Sorkin starts talking about the movie more to hear if they do discuss like, hey, why didn't you get Jesse Eisenberg back? Like, where's Eduardo Saverin in this story? Andrew Garfield's character.
Yeah.
Like, I know that it's going to be more relevant to like the 2020s era. Sorkin's mentioned January 6th as being a topic point in the movie as well. So like, is that character still relevant, like the Eduardo Saverin character of all that, or is his story kind of like concluded and doesn't need to be retouched? I believe Mikey Madison's character is playing a whistleblower. Jeremy Allen White's in it as well. So like, I think it's just one of those things where it's like we're picking this story up with some of these characters at like a completely different place in time. It's not at the beginning of Facebook. It's now at like the sort of like breaking point of Facebook and how it's like infiltrated our lives. So I can understand like wanting to depart from that, but I would obviously love if the original cast came back. It would feel more like a continuation. It wouldn't feel as jarring to do The Social Network and then do a back-to-back with The Social Reckoning. It would feel a lot more seamless in that respect. But again, if you don't have Fincher, if you potentially don't have Reznor and Ross, you might as well just make it its own thing and see if it can stand up on its own legs there.
Yeah. All right, my last pick is Exit 8. I'm going to make this short and sweet.
What is it? Exit
8?
Oh, Exit 8. So
yes.
Sorry.
Yeah. It's based on a video game, I believe. A video game I have not played. However,
it's like $3 on PlayStation.
Oh, maybe I'll play it after this.
It's a walking.
I just love concepts of people getting put into a space that they don't know why they're there, and then they have to figure their way out of it. It's as simple as that. That it all does come back to Cube. I don't know. I've always loved it. I tried to see it at TIFF. They only had like 2 screenings of it, and I could not. So like, it was impossible to get tickets, and the press screenings happened before I got there, so I didn't get to see it. But I'm just anything that falls into that genre, I'm just like, yes, sign me up. Done.
Yeah, The concept seemed interesting to me. I like the idea of you're stuck in this perpetual loop, and things every time you kind of loop around slightly change, and it becomes more and more tense and more unnerving. The cover art on the letterbox itself is very creepy with the smiling man and stuff like that. So it feels like an experiment. It feels like a something different. Neon picked this up, I believe.
I think so, yeah.
And should be putting it out. I don't know if this is going to be one of those things where it's like they just kind of like sneak it out, kind of like it's one of their like C slots. Like it's not, it was just an accident or sentimental value or a Nora where it's like everywhere. It's just going to be like, I don't know. I'm curious what their rollout plan with this is and if it will indeed come out this year. I imagine it will.
Hope so.
I don't know if it has a release date, but yeah, great pick. Very not what I would have suspected, but I love it.
Listen, you trap somebody in a room, I'm in.
There are tons of movies in 2026. This is going to be a banger of a year. And you know what's interesting is that even out of the 75 or so that I have on my list, this isn't entirely accounting for things that will be at Cannes. And other festivals that obviously make huge shockwaves around fall time as we get closer to sort of like awards season and nominations and things like that.
You can't fast forward 2026 already. It is
not.
January 4th, Nick.
I'm just saying that like out of the ones that we've already mentioned and the ones that I still have on my list that I haven't mentioned, I think that there's even still a lot here that are missing that we don't even know about yet.
Yeah.
And so I am over the moon excited for a whole new year. I would say 2025 has been a very, very great year. A lot more movies that I liked than I didn't like. We will do a 2025 retrospective where we kind of talk about our favorites of the year in a few weeks, probably after another episode or two, once we've had some time to solidify our lists. I know that there's at least two for me, Ann Lee and No Other Choice, that I want to watch before I finalize my list. So a double header.
Two absolute fantastic films, I will say.
And let me ask you, I was thinking about this earlier today. Do I drive to Chicago to see Ann Lee in 70 millimeter?
Yes.
Yeah?
I saw it in 70 or 35, I don't remember, at TIFF. I love Ann Lee. I can't be normal about it. I think the songs are so good. Like everything about Ann Lee, it's so immersive, and like the way that they shoot the rhythmic moving that becomes known as like the shaker thing. Man, there are some scenes that I had a screener that expired like a week ago, and I would just like fast forward to like a couple scenes that I just wanted to watch again.
Oh my gosh, you're selling me on this. Like it opens on the 15th, 16th, that weekend of January. I get back from Florida that Friday. And so I was like, dude, am I just going to wake up on Saturday and drive up to Chicago 4 hours?
Change your flight.
Huh?
Change
my flight to direct to Chicago?
Yeah.
But then I got to get from Chicago and then I'm going to have to fly back. Whereas if I just take my car, it's easier. But I'm debating that super. And that same weekend as well, No Other Choice finally opens at my local AMC. It was playing at the Music Box Theater in Chicago in 35, but I don't think the timing would work out. But anyway, this is just the epilogue, the banter as we close out this episode. So yeah, episode 2's in the books. I think starting with episode 3, kind of like looking ahead, expect my thoughts and opinions on Primate. We'll probably save some time to discuss that. And Critics' Choice Awards, as of this recording, is tonight. So we will have some discussions there on who won and what does that say about the Golden Globes and Oscars as we get closer to those. I think those are those awards, and then Independent Spirit Awards. When are those?
I want to say those are February. They were February last year, I think, or March.
Gotcha. We won't be tracking all of them. I know there's like the SAG Awards, which they call like the Actors Awards now. That's on Netflix. Like we'll cover some of the big ones between now and when nominations for the Oscars, and then we'll do like a whole Oscars episode as well. So those are things to look forward to. Quickly, are you planning on seeing Primate this week?
Maybe. I might, if it's Scream Unseen tomorrow night, I might go. I don't think I'm doing anything tomorrow night.
Okay.
Because I was thinking of seeing, my plans were Chronology of Water, Kristen Stewart directed, and then I want to see The Housemaid.
See The Housemaid. We can talk about The Housemaid. I don't mind doing a late review for that. Who cares? My plan is Primate tomorrow, permitted that that's the right movie. Hopefully it happens. And then if it's not that, I'm going to see it on Thursday. But if it is Primate, on Thursday I'm seeing Is This Thing On? Will Arnett, Bradley Cooper. So we'll see. We'll see.
We can cut this, and I think we should cut this, but...
Oh. I like Will Arnett. I like him as a comic, as Arrested Development, Smartless, all that jazz. So I'm kind of into it for supporting him and kind of not any of the other stuff. I don't really care. So
best of luck.
We'll see. But that's our episode. Thank you guys for listening. We will be back with the next episode. Like I said, we're still figuring out the cadence of how this thing's gonna jive, our recording schedule, our release schedule. So just bear with us. Please hit us with a 5-star review if you like what you're listening to on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your pods. We will be embarking on YouTube and all of our other socials in due course. So just bear with us. But for now, thanks for listening. And I've been Nick.
I've been Tina.
And go watch a movie or something.
Yeah.